Hey, what's up, y'all? And of course, welcome to another alternative factuals video. And I'm gonna go back to my roots in terms of the videos that I initially did when I first started this channel. If you saw those ancient videos, well, they're not really that old, but anyways, this is basically gonna be my kind of rant slash recap of Jessica Jones season 2. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jessica Jones season 3 is actually going to be coming out in about 3 or 4 days. So let's kind of talk about that and get that out of my system. Now, obviously, this is all coming straight off the top of my head. And this is just me, doing this based on how I feel, my issues with season 2. And most of it had nothing really to do with the plot itself, but just more or less the characters. And when I say characters, I mean character. And if you've seen that video, you know which character I'm talking about, and thus the title. And I'm pretty sure we can all just agree. But before I dive into any of that, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you're feeling about this video in particular, or in general, what you feel about the series, or whatever you may feel. And without further ado, let's kind of dive into this. So I'm going to start off with a partial recap, and we already know that season 2, that was the season where Jessica Jones met her biological mother, because remember, she was technically an orphan because she was under the impression that her biological mother was dead, and she was living with Trish and her mom, and they were a nightmare. But excuse the language, I had to bleep myself out. But anyways, they were a nightmare simply because they were the most toxic two people, especially together. One was better than the other. And don't get me started about Trish's mother. And just to be clear, this is not to say that the actors or actresses or whoever took place in the season 2 were bad. Like I said, the actor who plays Trish, or the actress who plays Trish, was phenomenal, because not only did she take the script that they gave them and she actually brought that script to life. You have to be a special type of actor for me to be passionately angry the way I am right now. Like, you have to be a great actress, and you literally brought that character to life. I legitimately have problems with her character. If I saw her in the street, part of me would be like, yo, I kind of am a fan of how you brought that character to the screen, but at the same time, I want to bless you with these hands because you really get me tight. Especially in season 2, you didn't have to kill Shorty's mother. It didn't have to be. Anyways, let me go back. I digress. Anyways, so season 2, Jessica Jones was under the impression that her biological mother was dead, and then she was moving in with Trish's parents, and that whole lifestyle. And then that eventually didn't really work out, and then she moved into a different apartment. She met up with this guy who was well aware of her abilities, and they were kind of messing around, as well as she started to spiral out of control and kind of do things that she was not necessarily familiar with doing, because out of the two sisters, Jessica at one point was the better of the two. In a lot of ways, I still consider her the better of the two. But because she was with this guy, because she didn't get the relationship that she kind of wanted at home, she kind of sought it out in different people when she was younger. So that's basically what the season 2 was. And then eventually we see that the biological mother of Jessica Jones came back, who actually was a part of the same experiment that gave her abilities, and they both had powers, but her mother went through the experiment in a little bit more of an extreme way, which made her physically more powerful than Jessica Jones, but she was also mentally unstable, so she didn't really do well outside in public. And I'm not going to get into other details because it's not really relevant right now. But the most important detail is that Trish, at the end of the series, ended the second season, actually killed Jessica Jones' mother because she felt like she had to. And this is the part where I'm going to start to really get into this rant for real. Now, in the second season, Trish only wanted to do all this, and she went through all these hoops and all these hol-ups and self-destruction simply because she wanted abilities. She was one of the most selfish characters we've ever seen in any TV show, because how can you do this to someone who you call your sister, right? Someone who grew up with you, someone who had your back through everything. It's one thing if you made a legitimate mistake and you didn't know or whatever like that, but not only did you kill her mother, a lot of the stuff that she did in the second season was simply selfish. She only wanted to gain powers because she felt like she was insignificant, inconsequential compared to Jessica Jones, who had abilities. She had super strength, she can jump super high, she probably didn't even really get sick like that. She had these abilities, and then Trish just felt like nothing. And I'm like, what more do you want? want? You're rich, you have your own show, you know, you live in the high life, you live in a nice apartment. Like, what more do you want? Like, that's how insecure and that's how, like, just self-centered she was, because she felt like despite everything that she had already, yes, her life wasn't perfect, but the stuff that she had already, and she still felt like she wanted more. And this is where the problem is going to be for season 3, where Trish is going to be a self-destructive mess. She is going to basically try and go out there and find a justifiable reason for her to be a superhero. Like, oh, I'm going to be a superhero because I thought you didn't want to be a superhero. You know, you feel like you're not perfect, or you feel like you're not capable of doing such things. Well, you don't have to do it. I have to do it. In reality, she's doing it just to make herself look better because she feels like she has nothing left in terms of what we saw in season 2. She feels like this is the only route she can go. She feels like, okay, I did better everywhere else. Now I have powers. Now I have to one up the person who I consider a sister. And like I said, she didn't have to be this way. She didn't have to be self-centered, but she chose to take this route, and she had multiple chances to redeem herself, and she chose not to. Everything she touches, she destroys. So I only can imagine the type of triggering this is gonna the type of feeling I'm gonna have for season 3, seeing the type of person that she is. It's just gonna be a train wreck. And then especially, you know, Jessica Jones still kind of recovering from what Trish did to her, and I can only imagine the type of tomfoolery, malarkey, like anyways, let me know how you feel about season 3. I'm getting, you know, frustrated, worked up over a series. Yes, a TV show, whatever. Once again, let me clarify: the actresses who play Jessica Jones and Trish, and even the actor who plays the next door neighbor who was on drugs because of Purple Man, they're wonderful, great. I'm pretty sure that they're decent people in real life, but Trish, I'm sorry, sweetie, you are the problem for me in this series. And yes, as an actress, you nailed it, but Trish, the character, I don't know. But please be sure, like, share, and of course subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.